Ladies and gentlemen, we're still in the midst of Memorial Day trading week. Some earnings to look through, our game plan in Forex, as well as our full stock analysis. I am Mark Melnick, and this is the Newsbeat Show. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Newsbeat Show. Not only today are we going to teach you how to buy the market, in this very light trading week, and I think you see it across the board. Anybody who isn't noting that this is a light trading week, honestly, probably doesn't know what they're talking about. That's not to say there's not money to be made. It just means that your strategy has to almost shift a little, where you're taking, shorter time frame intraday trades. And if you do want to swing something, maybe you take something on a pullback. Of course, I'm going to share with you guys new service here offered by the Newsbeat Live Room, and it's free for Newsbeat Live members already. It's not an additional cost. It's not an additional subscription, and I'm going to show you exactly how the service works. And if you're a Newsbeat Live member already, which a lot of you already are, this is what's going to be added to everything else you already get. So we're going to start off here, and we're going to take a look at, like the cues, and you could just see it basically put in almost like an equal tail up, an equal tail down, and pretty much traded in the middle of the range. This is what a 5 minute looked like on the cues today. Shot up through highs. Look, we're strong. Psych, we break lows. We do another full leg lower, and then we bounce up. What's been happening in this market is there's been a trick that you want to buy in between the pivot point and the S1 support. It didn't happen today, but I'm going to show you how you could predict the bottom of the Qs. Today in the room, I said, guys, if the Qs hit 167.65, I'm actually going to buy Q calls. And I rarely buy Q calls simply because I like to trade individual names with good news. For example, not today, but if Apple had a bullish upgrade and the Qs hit support, I'd want to buy Apple because then I not only have a name that's weighted in the Qs with me potentially going in my direction, but then I also have the good news behind it. So what happened in the Qs today? We went ahead and we hit 167.68 when I needed to hit 167.65. And I'm going to tell you exactly how I came with that level. If it's not readily apparent already, I'm going to make it very apparent and what you could do tomorrow. So the first thing we talked about, and this goes, this by the way, works on the spiders as well, just by the way. But I like the Qs a lot too. For some weird reason in this market, the spiders and Qs have been bouncing in between S1 support and the pivot point right here. Basically, the first red line here and the yellow line. And you might think, that's confusing. I don't have that in my charts. What do I do? This is freestockcharts.com. You could literally just go and literally go over here and, click pivot points and just click it in your chart, and it's free to use. It's absolutely free, and almost every other charting system out there allows you to do it. So what I was watching today, I was watching the Qs plunge, and I said I wanted to buy 167.65. As you could see, it hit 167.68. I ended up missing this trade. Honestly, not a lot that happened today. I made very little money, but it was easy and consistent. My first trade of the day was Axon Enterprises, which is, remember Taser? This is the old Taser. Don't tase me, bro. This is the old don't tase me, bro. Again, what happens? Stock flushes underneath the pivot point. We buy it at the dead lows. Stock grinds up. I told you guys I think it was going to get to $60 today. It ended up not doing that. It hit 59.73, but nonetheless, profitable trade, really easy trade. We were buying option calls pretty much before anybody else. We were like the first real volume in the $60 calls today. And we were trading it, of course, bullishly off an upgrade. Other than that, there was like a few gains here, just not really a lot. Micro trades, like micro gains, micro losses, and just this little trade here. So, very, very lackluster, so to speak. And I'm here to tell you that there's going to be not a lot of good opportunities this week, but there will be good opportunities. They're just not going to be a lot of them. And don't think that we can't get like a home run style idea. We still can. I don't want you to think for one moment that we can't when we very easily can. So, with Memorial Day trading week, we got a couple names reporting. We got a couple names reporting tomorrow, and I think we need to keep a look at them. And I just want to basically go through number two right now, which is just some earnings names to look through. We're just going to keep it very, very, very simple here. And one of the names reporting tomorrow is Kohl's. And they're reporting tomorrow morning in the pre-market. So when you're ready to trade, this one will be here. And people are asking me, Mark, what do you think about Kohl's? Are they gonna, move higher? Are they gonna move lower? Um, the truth is, I think it's gonna come down with all these retailers to their online business. So, my son started, wearing pull-ups, and I wanted to reward him. So what do? I went on Amazon, and they have this little bunch of like 100 random, like prizes, assorted different prizes, little men, trucks, all these silly things. It was like 17 bucks, and I said, you know what? That's 17 cents to give my son a quote unquote prize to, give him a self to make him feel like he was, he did a good job and he's rewarded for anything that I need him to do. If he's if he acts in a behaved manner, he's, a 3-year old. So I went ahead and did that. Now, while I was looking, there were also other cool things like shirts, clothes, and other things on Amazon. And I was like, you know what? Why would I ever step foot in a Kohl's? And then I get somebody like my wife who will come to me and say, hey, Mark, like, I love going to the stores. I like trying things on. I like seeing them in person. But I think for the majority of that, that's, A, not every woman feels that way. B, I think a lot of men are just more easygoing. That's why women dress better than men. Men are, I think, are a lot more easygoing. They, if I need to buy underwear, I could go online and figure out what size I need in a second. If I need to buy socks, if I need to buy sneakers, if I need to buy something like that, if I need to buy jeans, I do it online. I know my size. If I need to buy a shirt, what point am I making? I need to see Kohl's and how they're doing in their online process. The truth is, I don't shop there. I don't shop at Kohl's. I don't like the idea of walking in a warehouse style store. Um, you know, Costco is okay if I'm looking for food, but like there's certain things I won't buy online for the most part. Like I won't do the majority of my food shopping online. Some people do, but they're the exception. I will never step foot in a Kohl's. There's no need for me to ever step foot in this store. The only way I'm going to order from Kohl's is if they email me some weird coupon saying, "Oh, there's 30-40% off of everything of our already low prices, blah 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 blah." And I'll look through it and I'll say, "Oh, okay, maybe there's a deal here." That is the problem with stores like this. Now, as you guys know, I was bullish on Macy's from the beginning of the year as one of my top ideas for a long. And people are like, wow, Mark, that was such a good idea. Like Macy's, like, wow, that was in my 2018 report. And they basically said, wow, what a great idea. And I said, well, I'm not buying Macy's for the reason you think. I'm buying Macy's because I believe their Times Square real estate store is worth more than the entire market capitalization of the company. So when I bought Macy's, it's because of their Manhattan location. I could care less about all these other Macy's. Again, the majority of people walk into Macy's have to get to a different part of the shopping mall and found some good parking outside Macy's. Those are the majority of people who walk through Macy's. to get to a different part of a shopping mall. But nonetheless, Macy's has been, doing real good. I can't really say even having this as one of my favorite companies this year, I can't even look at this store and say that, I believe in them because I don't. Speaking of which, there's discount retailer TJ Maxx or TJX Companies, which has the TJ Maxx store, etc. They're also reporting tomorrow morning. This should be very interesting as well. The truth is, we heard so much about retail dying off, but here are the retail stocks by all-time highs, like TJX. Kohl's, not really at all-time highs yet, but not too far. Kohl's definitely trading pretty well overall. And you can see it's so cyclical. You've had some really crazy swings in names like this. And it'll be very interesting to see what these two report tomorrow. Also, we have home store, home builder construction company, Toll Brothers. TOL is also reporting tomorrow. What really gets me, what really is absolutely beyond me in some of these names are I don't really understand home building stocks. Yeah, they say number of new home sales, number of new this, number of new this. The reason why I don't understand it is because I always think that real estate and homes are always a good investment. So if they're always a good investment and people are making money, wouldn't they just naturally gobble up homes? Wouldn't they just naturally gobble up these homes, rent them out? There's always someone looking to rent a house. Think about it. We'll see how home construction comes in, but to be honest, I am phenomenally skeptical of this one gapping up. I'm phenomenally skeptical of Toll Brothers gapping up. But we'll see, right? It wouldn't shock me, but if I had to bet on it, I'd bet no. Then you, of course, have things like Advanced Auto Parts and AutoZone, which baffles me as well. I do not understand how any of these companies stay in business. I'm sorry. Let me ask you a question, guys. Let me ask you a question. How many people in the past year went to change their tires at a non-dealership tire shop? Maybe some of you have, but I'm seriously asking. You have? Okay. How many people have literally gone to a non-dealership, a non-sponsored dealership tire shop, just a random tire shop, to change a tire? Interesting. Well, what's happening? Last time I did it was a few years ago, and the truth is I have done it as well. But I guess what I'm saying with this is that the dealerships have been taking away a lot of the business. So, for example, BMW dealership. I have a BMW, which honestly these days isn't even considered a luxury vehicle. I mean, the truth is, they have BMWs that you could buy and lease for phenomenally cheap these days. But I have a BMW, and I'll tell you, I go, if I need an oil change, BMW does it for free. If I need to change something, BMW does it for free. If I need a car wash, BMW does it for free. If I need a tune-up, BMW does it for free. All I have to do is drive there, and they have coffee and espresso machines and pastries, which I stay 10 miles away from. I also stay away from the espresso machine as well. Like, I'm just saying, it's going to get to a point, I feel, where dealerships are going to take away the business from these local shops and consumers. I guess the last time I did it was one of my tires popped, and the dealer wanted to charge like $600, and then I found some an auto parts store around here that would have charged me 300 for the same tire, and I was like, okay. So it'll be very interesting to see what these companies report. Do you guys want to see the overnights we took and the new things we're offering here in the Newsbeat room? So, as Newsbeat Live members, we're taking I'm taking the Pepsi challenge. So what I did is I opened up account. I'm going to fund it this week. And basically, what I am doing is I'm putting myself in the trenches. I'm opening myself up with a very low, modest account. The reason for it was Um, there was a few questions proposed to me over the weekend, basically asking me, saying, Mark, do you make more money day trading or, swing trading? And I'm like, I make way more money long-term swing trading. And that actually shocked people because they think that that's what I'm sitting there doing. But the truth is, I just made a decision on three names at the moment, and I'm holding them. I've had wrong decisions prior to that, too. My last three have been good. My one prior to that was awful. That's a fact. But I do make more money. And then I'm thinking there, and the person basically said, well, I have $30,000 in which I could swing. Do you think I could do a similar strategy? And I'm thinking to myself, like, no, you can't. Anybody who tells you that you should take a $30,000 account and do overnight trades using common stock is setting you up for disaster. Let's say you have $30,000. A, you don't want to go on margin. Do you want to go into the negative? Going on margin for swing accounts is one of the craziest psychotic things that people do because they like the 4-to-1 buying power margin. I know because I did that stupid thing once in my life. Look, bottom line is if you have $30,000, for example, I took Celgene overnight. So I opened up a Celgene call straddle here. And again, I'm teaching people how to use very effective, very easy, very simple strategies on critical support levels and resistance levels. So we were buying Celgene today pretty much at around the level you see it here, 74.69s. I bought initially in the 75.10 range, and then I doubled in when it was in the 74.40 range. Whatever. Stock is, after hours at 75. Doesn't matter. So let's say you had a $30,000 account and you wanted to buy Celgene. What are you going to do? You want to buy 100 shares? You want to buy 100 shares of Celgene? No? Oh, you want to buy 200 shares? And you want to put 50% of your account on risk on Celgene because you want to hold 200 shares of Celgene? And I feel that people with modest size accounts are never going to get anywhere with it because if you think about it, the best hedge funds are making like 15% on average, like the best hedge funds. I'm talking about the size hedge funds, not the hedge fund who turned 3 million into 5 million. I'm not talking about those guys. I'm talking about the bigger hedge funds. And they'll return you 15% and they'll look like Wall Street heroes. So if you had a $30,000 account and you worked it the entire year and you made $4,500, would you feel like you hit a home run? Would you feel like a Wall Street hero? Maybe you would. The majority of people wouldn't. I'm telling you right now that the majority of people would feel like they failed. You turn a $30,000 account 12 months from now into 34,500 that you're actively trading, you're actively managing, you're paying attention to. I'm not saying you threw it in a bank and the bank gave you that much. That would be great. I'm saying like you were trading it, you were taking the risk. You wouldn't feel like a hero. That's why remember, every single product out there that tells you that you could take something like 25, 30,000, even 50,000 trade shares and make a lot of money through like taking a number of different overnights as opposed to just pouring it in one position and hoping for the best doesn't have logic or reality behind them. See, that's the problem. You have $1 million, you could do a little more damage. You have 500,000, you could do a little more damage, but you can't do it with a low account without options. So what I want to do is I'm taking the Pepsi challenge, and basically, don't drink Pepsi, please. I mean, Coca-Cola tastes so much better. But with that being said, I'm starting with a modest size account. I haven't decided. I'm letting my room decide how much money to start with. I've heard 5,000, 10,000, 25,000, 50,000, 100,000, or $250,000, and everybody's voting. So right now it's between 5,000 and 25,000, and people want to see what I could do with a $5,000 to $25,000 account with swing overnights. Truth is, I've never done this strategy before. I did a little bit of back testing on my strategies, and it was successful, and I'm going to give it a shot. So what you're going to see in the Newsbeat live room is a lot more overnight opportunities and plays, a lot more, swing between 1 day and 1 year swing positions. We're going to be holding for months at a time, and I'm just going to take numbers of them. I mean, we might load up 10, 15, 20 positions, very small, very diversified, with an excellent defined risk reward ahead of time. Anybody who says you can define a risk reward with shares, again, is a liar. Don't believe anybody who says that. I hear it a lot recently. That people have been saying, oh, I've been doing shares and I've been doing it for this many years and I never got screwed out of it. But, like, that's the most insane thing I've ever heard in my life. It's like saying I've catched a falling knife and the stock always bounces up every time I do it. Really? How about that one time that it won't? I mean, it's insane. And the problem is, like, you have $30,000, you take 200 shares of Celgene, and let's say, for example, Celgene gaps down 50% tomorrow. And what do? You blew your account out with one trade? I mean, there's no stops. You're taking so much overnight risk with shares. Don't believe, I mean, unless you truly believe in one company all the way, don't trust those people who just load in, small amounts of shares and say that you'll never get screwed over. It's just not true. And people talk about it, and I feel like vomiting. So we're going to be offering you that. The other trade I took as an overnight here today is CMG. If you guys remember, we were talking about Chipotle Mexican Grill here coming back and hitting the exponential 8 ever since earnings, and we waited. And just to show you here, I'll delete these lines. Just to show you, you came back and you hit this yellow line here. That's the exponential 8 moving average. Beautiful bull flag, beautiful digestive volume right here. And I don't see any reason why CMG isn't going to retest and break 447 and shoot through $450 and have an excellent risk reward. I have a very measured risk. We're going to be doing a lot of these excellent risk rewards, and we're going to be putting ourselves in the best situation possible to make money. And I'm going to be sharing 100% of these trades with you with 100% transparency. But keep in mind, transparency is different for a lot of people. When I take these trades, I'm going to spell out exactly what I'm doing before I do it. I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do before I do it. And then I'll do it in real time. You'll see me get filled in real time as I do it with a price target and everything. So that's what you guys are going to get from now on. All right. With that being said, it is Memorial Week. Take it slow. How about our game plan in Forex? How about Super Nintendo Entertainment System, or SNES, or also known as Senes Tech? And looking at Senes Tech here, here's giving you guys a trigger of $1.76. This stock absolutely exploded today. Went from 36 cents to $1.29. And look, a lot of you guys, I do this for the traders with small account sizes. Why do you think I'm taking this Pepsi challenge? Why do you think so? I'm trying to help those traders who have small account sizes build up. And yes, you could do this with a lot more size and large account sizes. You're not being left out, but we're including everyone. ADOM was a little silly name we gave you yesterday as a long in the game plan, and it exploded today to $1.97. So keep an eye on these things. A lot of these names I give move. So of course the name I'm giving you here today is Senes Tech. That's SNES. And let's see if we can break $1.76 tomorrow. Okay. Do you guys want my Forex? You guys want all my Forex ideas? All right. Here are all my Forex ideas. You get literally a live screenshot from my account. For disclaimer, it's for educational purposes only. You could see literally the time I'm putting it in right before the Newsbeat broadcast here. Um, this time actually is from It's not Eastern Standard, I guess, because the server is overseas. But yeah, I just put these in second minutes before the Newsbeat show started. And here you get my trades. They're buy limits right here. Here's the size in US standard lots. Here's the currency pairing I'm looking to get. Here's the price in which I'm bidding at to the 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth decimal place out. Okay. Here's the stop loss I have if I buy it and I'm wrong. Here's the take profit I have if I buy it and I'm right. So with that being said, we're going to go just very simply into our full stock analysis. That's your stocks, my levels and thoughts in the market and everything, and you get to ask the questions, and I will tell you where I would personally look to buy or sell any of the names you bring up. Of course, this is for Newsbeat Live members only. Ladies and gentlemen, we are the fastest growing trading room in the nation. Happy trading, make money, and we'll see you guys next time on the Newsbeat Live trading broadcast. Have a wonderful evening.